this is the bit I hate most about waders, just getting the damn things on and off. Followed just by finding the latest leaks as you go into the water. Because it's kind of cold at this time of year. Improved things a bit since I followed Trevor's recommendation and got a set of waterproof socks. It's still not a great thing to be doing. There's a load of junk aboard the boat today because I'm going camping further up the loch tonight. It's tents, bags, food, wood, the lot. So not long anchored up here, just off Dunstaffnage Castle, near Oban. Never fished here before, so give it a wee try, just for an hour or so I think here, and then move a little bit further up. Get spur dogs from the shore around here, so there's a reasonable chance you'll get them in slightly deeper water here in daylight. So what I'm doing today is doing a few hours fishing today, then as it gets dusk I'm going to head back up into Loch Etive through the Falls of Laura, and just keep going right up the loch, just find somewhere to camp up there. Forecast for a fine clear evening, so it'll be cold, but I got a shore rod with me as well, so I'll just anchor the boat offshore and set the tent up, have a cast out with the shore rod, get the campfire going, a few things to eat, hopefully get a good night out of it, and then tomorrow just have a short session, finish up fairly early and get back on the road. So I launched up at Tinal this morning, and then just came straight down the loch through the Falls of Laura at high water, so it's not too much of a tide run at that point. Fine lovely sunny day, not bad for the very end of November, although my toes are getting pretty cold I have to say. So as I say, give it another hour or so here, if nothing transpires here I'll move round more into the loch, get a bit more tide. Picked clean, so it's either crabs or prawn down there I think. Either way, not a single bite. So I think it's time to move on. I'll go move into slightly faster water. See if it throws up anything. just anchored up off the, it's called the windsock mark. So there's about 70 feet of water here. We're just outside the main flow of the tide. So we'll see if there's anything kicking around here. Not really what we wanted to see. Signs of life anyway down there. It's more than a little disappointing this, but place seems carpeted with crabs and little pin whiting. So I've stuck one of the whiting down for bait, but it's a bit difficult to be catching much when the baits are just getting stripped within a few minutes of going down. So we'll give it a while longer. See if something bigger comes along to chase them away. So we're just sitting a couple hundred yards off what's supposed to be quite a good shore mark. Probably slightly deeper water, little back eddy in here. Up there beyond the bridge, and that's kind of where I'm heading, up into the mountains in there for the evening. Probably be dark by the time I get there. No. That's a wee airplane just taking off. Fine day for a flight anyway. Just at the end of the airstrip here.
I took wood in today. There's not much around these parts. I do want the certainty of being able to start the fire, especially since I'm going to be cooking on it. Right, let's get this show on the road. See if this thing lights properly given it's so cold. It's just a bit of hot spark going up. Just had a run on one of the rods there. Good run, but I missed it. It shows there's a few fish around anyway. I'll get fire on the go, get some dinner underway. It's getting on towards 6 o'clock now, but it's been dark for about an hour and a half now. So, getting cold. The beach is already frozen, so see if we can top up the water in my flask and get some dinner going. The fire just takes a few minutes to get going if the wood's dry. I think I'll need a fair bit of wood tonight to keep warm. There's a typical smallish spurry. So I'll just go back easy enough. He's actually unhooked already. And it's nice to see them from the shore again. I had them here last year. Yeah, just gonna cook up a mix of sausages, chorizo, pasta, chickpeas, tomatoes and so on. So, ain't going to be very sophisticated, but it should fill me up nicely. Certainly keep me warm. So, right, give that a few minutes and then chuck the pasta in. Oh, right. That's dinner ready. I'm going to turbo boost the coffee a wee bit. Probably turn my nose up at it at home, but there's plenty of food there. It'll warm me up nicely tonight. Get tucked in. Beautiful starlit night tonight. Just almost no wind at all. Oh, just a very small spurry, this one. It barely had time to get the rod in the rod rest. So there's obviously quite a lot of them out there. So a bit smaller than the last one, but I'll fish on for a wee bit. See if there's anything else that's a bit bigger than that. Well and truly freezing out there, so I've just let the campfire die down and retreated to the tent. So cold out there that I was trying to charge my phone up and it refused. First time I've ever heard a message like that. But too cold to charge the phone, it says. So it is quite cold out. Sand's very crunchy. So a couple of spur dog there, and just a nice wee time watching the stars. Very, very clear night. We get some kip just now, then sort ourselves out fairly early tomorrow morning, get an hour or two's fishing, and then just head home. Pretty cold last night, so as you can see the boat's still there. Just the very first hint of sunshine showing on the tops of the hills, but it is freezing here at the moment, so first priority is to get a wee bit of a fire going, get some breakfast on the go, unfreeze my water. I'll play a wee cast from the shore. I'm having breakfast. After that, just pack up, get in the boat. Now that's coffee on. Once the frost dissolves off the top of that pot, get some bacon and eggs on after this, I think. That was cold. Just the handles of the rod, the reel are freezing. It's a bit of a limp-wristed cast, that one. Anyway, coffee next. This one got cracked in the end, look at it. So not the world's greatest, but more than welcome today. Almost like scrambled eggs rather than fried eggs. Well, if you look closely down there, just below where the rod tripod is, you'll just see the heated air from the fire just turning to a sort of mist as it streams out across the water. It's just that one little patch there. It's not smoke, it's just hot air with the water vapour condensing or something like that. That's just about done. Put the tent away, just haul the rod in here and then get the boat in, load her up and away. It's turning into a beautiful sunny day, so we'll see how long that holds. I doubt if there's anything. The bait will have been stripped ages ago in this rod, but I'll haul her in and see anyway.
No surprises there.
I just clean this up. If the fire circle's mine, I normally just break it apart, cover this with sand. If it's an existing one, I'll just leave it, but there's no sense in advertising it. Well, that's where the fire was. It's just a bit of seaweed now. It's fairly easy if you're on a wee beach like this. That's where the tent was. It's just some frost. Nothing else. So, now to get the boat in. So the boat's sitting out there with what's effectively a pulley at the end of the anchor cable, the anchor chain, and that just comes to the shore, and there's a loop of rope runs through that pulley, comes to the shore in a sort of V formation. So there's one end away up to my right and the other end is just behind me here. The rope's tied off on the boat itself, so essentially you're just pulling the boat through that pulley until it hits the shore. As long as you get the lengths of the rope right, it's not a problem at all. The thing I did forget to take was should have taken the rubber gloves from the boat, because I'll be handling these very cold, very wet ropes with just neoprene gloves, so it's going to be chilly. Anyway, I'll slacken off both ends of the rope and then just haul her in and see what I'm doing. Just got to make sure that the other end of the rope doesn't run out into the water, otherwise you're a bit goosed. Just set it up right in the first place, there's no problem. And one nice frosty boat. And you can see just here, that's the end of my rope, calculated just nicely. Quite straightforward around here, to be honest. You do need to watch, otherwise the end of the rope just goes into the water. First thing you really need to do when you get the rope back is make sure it's tied on, so there's no possibility of it being forgotten about until you've got the anchor back. So you got one end of the rope tied there, and then the other end of the rope's in the bucket here. And just loop through the anchor, which we'll go out and pick up once we've loaded the boat up. Well, everything working, nothing frozen up. The decks are going to be nice and slippy though. So much for winter fishing, eh? I'll just untie this. A bit of an overkill, this knot, but at the end of the day it's actually the only thing that's holding the boat into the anchor and allowing you to retrieve it. It's some of this junk aboard, of which there is masses. Alright, what we're doing here is just pulling out to retrieve the anchor. It's just a continuation of what we were doing from the shore. Pulling the rope through the pulley at the end. That's why you need this other rope tied off, otherwise it'll just disappear over the side and your anchor will disappear with it. And you can just see it's just a steel ring that I'm using. Helps have a large diameter ring like that, just in case there's weed. Pull through the ring quite easily, and then it's just shackled onto the anchor chain. So I'll just hold the rest of it up and reset it. And that's an example of what not to do. I shouldn't have left her on the cable ties, I should have shackled her off properly. So you don't want the anchor tripping. But the forecast last night and the nature of this loch, it's not really a problem. So, but it's not something you should normally do. Just to reset this, I mean, this sort of setup's not really suitable for anything other than a pretty sheltered location, but it's nice and simple, and it works for the sort of short-term or overnight anchoring I do, but you certainly wouldn't want to do it if you're exposed to any substantial tide or wind. Now, put the original shackle back on. A good way of losing shackles, by the way, so usually carry a spare. And that's us, really. Anchor back to normal. So, technique's limited by the length of your anchor rope, basically. I'm usually carrying 220 metres, so it's usually enough to deal with any problems you get. So, back into our slippy boat, I think. Everything covered in frost, as you can see. We'll see if it eases up as we go out. Get a wee bit of sun. Not sure the camera picks this up very well, but there's a very thin coating of ice on the surface here. It's just formed overnight. You just hear a wee crunchy noise every now and again. Very, very thin.
Nothing to it really. So I'm just going to do a wee bit of fishing. I need to be back home mid-afternoon, so I've only got an hour or so to fish. Well, that wasn't really the main point. Fishing up here was poor last time we were up. Feels like a little spur dog. Very light gear, so see if it makes it to the surface or not. And here we go. Just a little spurry. It's about 130 feet of water here, but without any wind, there's a little bit of tide, but without any wind you just fish it easily enough with a 1 to 2 ounce weight. Just got to be patient to let it go down. And away we go again. That'll just be another small spurry. Oh, and he's off. Just bit through that one. Swapped over to slightly heavier rod. Just because of the spur dogs down there. Don't know if you can see there's a wee bit of ice there. Oh, we've just lost that as well. Probably just taking the hook off.